Okay, is the screen shared or not? Is screen is visible? Okay. Now, if we want to perform multiple comparison in Verilog, and now we are interested that what hardware will be synthesized. If you look at this code on the left hand side, which is highlighted in this green box. So if the name of the module is comparator, how many inputs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Output is Y. So Y is a 1-bit signal or multiple signal? It's a scalar variable because by default it's a 1-bit signal, and we have defined Y as a rect. It's a rect data type because the left hand side of the procedural assignment is always rect. Now if you look at the code, always at the rate of then followed by sensitivity list, begin and end. So what hardware will be formed? Now if you look at, now we have if statement and else statement. If statement and else statement. What will be inferred in hardware? Marks. Additional hardware? Comparator. Which type of comparator? Equal is not equal to and greater are equal to. Okay. So if you look at the code, now if A is equal to B, so it means that now if A is equal to B, it is highlighted, and now let's assume this signal is T1. So the output of this comparator, let's assume that this is T1, because you want to instantiate in hardware. So now you need a comparator. What type of comparator is this? Equal. It is an equal comparator. What is the size of this comparator? 3-bit. So it is a 3-bit equal comparator. 3-bit equal comparator. What are the inputs to this comparator? A and B. Which I don't mention the size of any signal, it means it's by default because it's mentioned. So A and B, the size of A and B is 3-bit. So now this is equal. So what will be its output? T1. Now we need again another comparator. Let's assume that this C is not equal to D. Is T2. T2. So now we need another comparator. Okay, is not equal to. So now we have an equal comparator again, and output of this equal comparator we need a inverter. If it's equal to, it's not equal to, it's actually inverter. So the output of this is now T2, and the input to this comparator is C and T. Now again we need another comparator. Let's assume we define this signal as T3. So if we define this as T3, then this implies that we are comparing E and F. And is GT and equal. There are two outputs, GT or equal. So now we can use an OR gate. Okay, what is the output? T3. Now if you look at this, now we have some parentheses here. Let's assume this output is T4. So how we can achieve T4? OR. Let's assume this signal is T4. Now we want to AND T4 and T1. So let's assume the whole signal. Now if you look at it, the whole signal within. Now this is the expression within an F expression. This should be a 1-bit signal. So if you look at the whole expression, this whole expression, let's assume this is T5. So now this is the AND gate. AND gate. And now if you look at here, we don't need even a multiplexer here. Why we don't need a multiplexer here? Because if this condition is true, T is equal to 1. If this condition is false, T is equal to 0. So now if you assume that, okay, now if it will infer a multiplexer. Now let's assume we assume that it will infer a multiplexer. So how a multiplexer will look like? A multiplexer will look like this. If this means that if T5 is equal to 1, what will go? 1. Logical 1. If T5 is equal to 0, 0. Do we need this comparator, this multiplexer? So we don't need this multiplexer. Actually, this output is actually T5. So now this is minimized hardware. So now let's assume if you get any code. So if you get any code, very low code, and what the synthesizer uses, this will be done automatically by synthesizer. But when I ask any question in exam and I ask you what hardware will be input, so you have to think intelligently. If I ask, please, what hardware will be input as a result of Verilog code and minimize hardware. So you have to think intelligently that how you can synthesize and minimize hardware. You have to think intelligently, like in this particular example. And there are various examples. There are 2 different implementations. Now, if you look at here, even if you have this multiplexer and the output is y. So now actually we can say y. So this T5 is equal to y. So these two, like let's say if we say that y is here and T5 is here, both will give us the same output. But which hardware is efficient? The first one or the second one? Including multiplexer or excluding multiplexer? Excluding multiplexer. So that one, because it will result in minimized hardware and also small critical path with less number of gates within the critical path. So now we can have different implementation of the same functionality. For instance, if you want to have an adder like 4-bit adder, you can realize the same adder using Carey-Luca head adder or ripple carry adder. But which adder is efficient in terms of speed? Carey-Luca head adder is much more efficient compared to Carey-Luca head ripple carry adder in terms of efficiency of performance. But which one is expensive in terms of hardware? Carey-Luca head adder. Carey-Luca head adder is much expensive. And you have studied this already in your digital logic design course. Now, can you see the table? Can you see the table? Okay. Now, if you see the table, and now this is the functional description of an ALU. This is the functional description of an ALU. Okay. So now there are some select lines. S4, S3, S2, S1. Can you see here? Yes, so these select lines, you can call it as an opcode. What is the size of opcode? 5 bits. How many operations can be supported? 32. Maximum of 32 operations can be supported. Now you have an additional signal Cin. Let's assume that if you want to instantiate an adder and you want to have an adder functionality, so you also need the signal Cin. Okay. Okay, before explaining this technique, I will, before explaining ALU, I will have explained two different implementation of the same hardware. Now let's assume that is the functionality. Can you see the code always at A or B or C or D?
Yes.
If cell out is equal to A plus B and else out is equal to C plus B, what hardware will be inferred?
If and else.
Mux. And now you have plus, then adder. So now if you look at this code, that means now we have a multiplexer. And multiplexer has a select line of cell. If the condition is true, A plus B. If the condition is false, but this hardware is inefficient. We want to achieve the same functionality, but using an efficient approach. How we can do this? Anybody? No, not ALU. Just look at this example. Just look at this example. Don't look at ALU. This hardware is inefficient. I will explain it later on. That's the question that I'm asking you. It's inefficient. You can design the same hardware much more efficiently. Very good. Instead of 2 adders, you can use 1 adder. Now, how? If you look at that, if you look at the second code, can you see the another technique? The second technique. Wire op1, op2. Now, which type of modeling we are using here? Data flow modeling. Which type of assignment? Continuous assignment. Now we have the first statement. Assign op1. Op1. So now you have an op1. Output is op1. Op1. If op1 is true, if cell 1 is true, cell is true, which signal will go on the output? Cell 1, C. Now, no, it's fine. It's fine. If you look at the first one, op1, cell 1. If cell 1 is true, C will go. If it's false, A. And now again, op2. It will also depend on the signal. Cell. If cell is true, if cell is false, B. And then assign out is equal to op1 plus op2. You are adding both of them. 1 minute, please. I will explain this. What is your output? Out. Now, if you look at here, let's assume it is B. If cell 1 is 1, cell is 1, what will be the output? It will be C plus D. Okay, now in the above case, you can write it like this. If I will change it, it is C plus D. And now A plus B. So here you can overwrite it C plus D and A plus B. Okay. Now if cell is 1, C plus D. Okay, now if cell is 1, C will come here and D will here, and output will be C plus D. So if you look at both the hardware, does it provide the same functionality or different functionality? Same functionality. But which one is efficient, the first one or second one? Why second one and why first one? Same hai na, but the functionality is same, but the hardware is different. The first one required 2 adders and 1 multiplexer. The second one required 2 multiplexer and 1 adder. The implementation is different, but the functionality is same. Now, if we want to estimate the hardware overhead or the area overhead of these two approaches, now we want to compare these are two different solutions, and we want to compare these two solutions. So you say which solution is better, the first one or the second one?
Overall hardware is ना लेकिन तीन hardware है दो adder एक mux.
The problem is their adder is expensive in terms of hardware. Adder requires more gates than the multiplexer. If you look at the adder functionality, you have some exclusive OR gates and A and B, then you have some output for the C in and C out and something like that. So if you have a 2-into-1 multiplexer, or you have an adder, so in a 2-into-1 multiplexer, if you remember, we needed 2 AND gates, 1 inverter and 1 OR gate, just for a mux, 2-into-1 multiplexer. But if you have a 1-bit adder, in a 1-bit adder, first you have A exclusive or B exclusive or C in, so you need 2 exclusive OR gate, and you need additional hardware for C in. Then you have C in and A and B. There are some 4 or 5 gates. So if you compare, you can implement this in hardware and draw the complete hardware at the gate level description, and then you will come to know. You will come to know that which one is efficient. So and this is not only efficient in terms of area but also in terms of performance, because multiplexer has less delay compared to an adder. No, it's not always true. It's not always true. If you compare the carry look ahead adder implementation and the look ahead adder implementation, the ripple carry adder. So the ripple carry adder has less hardware compared to carry look ahead adder. So it's not always true. Okay, it's not always true. And actually, now we have another example of the same that if you want to have an efficient or inefficient hardware. Okay, now let's assume we have another example in this green box. Okay, so if you look at this example, if cell is equal to 1, A plus B. If cell is equal to 0, A minus B. Now this hardware is also inefficient. How we can efficiently implement it? How? Why? Think. What is a subtraction? You already studied. What is a subtraction?
A not B give minus है ना.
Why? What is a subtraction? You studied this in digital logic design. Now let's assume if you want to A minus B, you perform A minus B. So actually A plus A minus B. I will explain it here. No, not bigger complement. Now it will not be a bigger complement. Let's assume what is A minus B. So it is equal to A plus what? Can I write it like this? 2's complement. If you remember, if you remember it from your digital logic design course, A plus 2's complement of what? 2 complement of B. Can I further divide it like this? A plus 1 complement of B plus 1. Actually, 2's complement is 1's complement. So I can further divide it like this. A plus, now how we can write it in terms of Verilog? In Verilog, One's complement is actually we are inverting each individual bit of B. Which operator will you use? Logical or bitwise? Bitwise. So A. Am I right or not? Now, if now this is one expression. Now we want to estimate A minus B. Now, if you want to calculate A plus B, so now A plus B is actually A plus B. A plus B is actually equal to A plus B. If you look at both of these expressions, which one is common? A is common. A is common. And B plus 1, so it means that A is common. So we need an adder where A is common. And for B, we can use a mux. We can use a mux. Now if you look at this implementation, if you look at this implementation, now if you look at here, A is common in both cases as explained. So now this A plus B, one's complement of B, what is this? This expression. This expression is equivalent to A minus B. A minus B. So A is common. And then for an adder, there are two inputs, A, B, and C in. A, B, and C in. So A is common. If cell is equal to 0, so we want to perform addition or subtraction? Subtraction. In cell is equal to 0, we want to perform subtraction. So we need a 2's complement. 1 complement. And if it's 1, we need B. And for C in, if you look at C in, we need a cell. We need cell. So it means that this C in should either be 1 or 0. Because A, okay, now we can we write it like this? A plus B is equal to A plus B plus 0. And A minus B, A plus negate of B plus 1. Now, if you look at here, now cell 1, we need another multiplexer here, and this multiplexer will be driven by select line. If cell is equal to 1 or 0, now if you look at here, if cell is equal to now A plus B, for A plus B, what is the value of select line? Select is 1. I'm writing I'm asking about select line. What will be the select line? 0. For A minus B, select line is 0. Here, you can look at here. If select is 1, A plus B. So in this case, cell will be 1. For A plus B, cell is 1. Cell is 1, so we need to pass 0 here. And cell is 0, we need to pass 1. Now if you look at here, we even don't need a multiplexer. We just need an inverter. So actually the reduced hardware will look like this. A, and then for a B we need a multiplexer. If the output, if cell is 1, if cell is equal to 1, what will B will pass or invert to B? B. If cell is 0, inverted B. So now this is the second input, A and B. And now you need a C in, and C in will be invert of cell. Now if you look at here, this implementation is efficient or the first one implementation is efficient? The second one. No, sorry, not this implementation, this implementation. In the first case, we need two adders. Subtractors is actually an adder. We need 2 adders and 1 mux. Here we need only 1 mux, 1 adder, and 1 small inverter. So now Now, actually, if it's always important. Now, this hardware will be synthesized as a result of this code. So now you can also change the code. What will be the code for the second approach? Now you have to define. You need to now. What will be the output here? Out.
If cell is equal to 1.
Now, so you can use any type of modeling. It's up to you. You can use behavioral modeling. You can use data flow modeling. You may use any type of modeling. But for this particular example, I'm using data flow modeling. Okay. I'm using data flow modeling. Okay. So so can I write it like this? A is fixed. So now let's assume we define some signal T1 here. We have to define it as wire T1. So can I write it like this? Assign T1 equal to cell. If cell is true, cell is false, inverter B.
Assign out A plus P1 plus.
And assign out is equal to A plus T1 plus not of. And since cell is a 1-bit signal, so you can use either not of cell, you can also use logical operator. You can also use a logical operator because cell is a 1-bit signal. So you can use both of them. For a scalar signal, tilde cell and a sign of exclamation cell will give you the same output. But for a multi-bit signal, the output will be different. For a vector signal. So now here we studied. Okay, now this code will result in reduced hardware compared to this code. Similarly, this code will result in reduced hardware compared to this code. It's very important. So now in the exam, I may ask any kind of question. Now let's assume that we want to realize this hardware. I may give the block diagram. And you said, okay, this is inefficient in terms of hardware. You have to design an efficient one. Maybe I will give you a code and say, okay, now this is a code, but this will realize into inefficient hardware. So first you have to draw the inefficient hardware, and then you have to make an efficient hardware, and you have to write the code for that efficient hardware. So now this will be this simple kind of questions you may expect in exam. But it's my advice to you that please go home. When you go home, try this problem at least once, without looking into the solution. Don't look at the solution. Just look at the code and draw the hardware. And then think, okay, now you provide your own solution. Now I have used here data flow modeling. You can also use behavioral modeling. Doesn't matter. You can also use behavioral modeling. If your approach, maybe. But if I ask the question, same question, design this hardware using data flow modeling, then you have to use continuous assignment. Design this hardware using gate level modeling, then you have to use and or. If I ask this question, design this hardware using behavioral model, you have to use if and else or case statement. Okay? So you need to know all types of modeling, digital circuits. Okay. Now coming back to the ALU, what was the reason behind it? Okay, now I started with very simple example, and then now we can come up to more complex example. So if you look at this ALU structure, what is the size of the select line? 5 bits. How many operations can it support? 32. But if you look at, if you further look into this ALU, actually ALU stands for arithmetic and logical unit. Arithmetic and logical unit. If you further go into detail of this logic unit, so the first one is an arithmetic function. Can you see? These are all classes of operation that perform in arithmetic. Plus y is equal to a, y is equal to a plus 1, y is equal to a plus b, y is equal to a plus b plus 1, or y is equal to a plus b bar. The first class, if you look at the first class of operation, so this represents arithmetic operation. Now if you look at the second class of operation, logical, a and b, a or b, a exclusive or b, and exclusive or b. And if you look at the third class, shift operation. Now there are two ways to design the same hardware. There are two ways to design the same hardware. First, you just use a case statement. Just use a case statement, and this is an example. But this will be inefficient in hardware. Inefficient hardware. How we can use a case statement? Can you see on the left hand side? Okay, I will just write it for your. I will just draw for, and this is an inefficient implementation. Now you can start with the module A, B, S4, S5, but we are not looking into this, but we can start from this. I'm directly starting from always block. So now I have to increase the font size so that it's visible to you. Always at sensitivity list, you can write the sensitivity list. Actually, the output is dependent on S4 or S3 or and so forth, so on, or Cin or A or B. Okay, then for always you need begin and then end. Start of the always block, and before this there will be module and end module. You have to write the input and outputs. I'm skipping here for the sake. You can implement the same thing using case statement. Am I right or not? Okay, so tab case, not opcode. Concatenation, you'll use concatenation operator. So you in the concatenation operator you use S4, S3, S2, S1, S0. When we are using any case statement, what is the size of this case statement? 5-bit, but we also include Cin. Here Cin is also there. Okay. So case, and then when you have a case, then you what you have to write? End case. When you have a case, then you have to write end case. Now there are different conditions. You just copy the truth table. So now if you look at this S4, S3, S2, S1, S0 and Sin, what is the size of this signal? Six bits. How many combinations will be there? 64 combinations? No. Now in 64 combinations, so now when you have to use case X, so how we can compute? 6B binary. What is the first combination? 0 0 0 0 0 0. The first case. What will be the output? Y. This is the first. Y is actually your output. Y is your output. A is your input. And now for the second case. 6B001. What is the output now? 001. A plus 1. And you can go until the last case. You have to use case X because there is don't care. So case X, in the last one, if you look at here, the last one, what is the value? 6B 11 000 X, and what is your now your output? Y is equal to, and now in order to avoid the inference of latch, in order to avoid the inference of latch, what we need to do? Default. And default, what should you write in default? Y should be equal to, now let's assume the size of Y is 16 bit. Let's assume the size of Y here, let's assume the size of Y here is 8 bits. Can you see here? 8 bits. So in the default statement, what you have to write? Default Y is equal to 8B0 or 8BX? What is the advantage of using X? What is don't care? What is the advantage? Yeah, I know it's don't care. It will minimize the logic. It will minimize the logic. Now, if you look at this hardware, if you look at this hardware, so actually it will infer. Now I'm not trying to reduce hardware just at a very high level, at the block level, at the block level, we can write. So what will be inferred in hardware? A multiplexer, a very large multiplexer. A very large multiplexer, and on the large and this large multiplexer, there will be how many signals? 6 bits. S4, S0, and then seen when the condition is it is equal to 0, what will go on the output? A. When it's 1, and 2, and so forth, so on. And for the default, now if you look at here, if you look at the left hand side, now if you look on the left hand side, so I have written a decimal representation. So actually this is equal to 0, then equal to 1, and up to 7. Now this is equal to, you can write the decimal equivalent of this. The decimal equivalent of this. You can convert this into decimal, and if when you have X, there will be one combination or two combinations? Two combination, because one X, either the X may be 0 or X may be 1. Now, is this hardware efficient or inefficient? I'm asking. Why it is inefficient? Too many adders and too many instructions. So now we can design the same system. We can design the same system using an efficient hardware. But we have to think that how we can design an efficient hardware. So there is also some kind of repetition. If you look at here, there is some repetition. Can you see? A is common. When A is common, and instead of many adders, you can use one adder. Now, without looking into detail, can we say something like this, that if S1 and S0, okay, now if you look at the left hand side in the yellow, can you see in the yellow? So it means that when S4, S3 and S2, S4, S3 and S2 is 0, 0, 0. Which type of operation is this? Arithmetic. First you have to define this, that this is an arithmetic operation. And that it will be an arithmetic operation when S4, S3 and S1 is 0, 0, 0. Otherwise, it may be logical or shift or any other type of operation. Because after that, the value of S3 is changed. For a logical unit, what is the value of S3? 0, 0, 1. And for a shift operation, S4 and S3 is changing. And actually, which one is fixed? S2. Now if you look at here in your in this light blue color, in this case S2, S1 and S0 is fixed, and what is changed? S4 and S3. So when you're drawing an efficient hardware, so you have to think, you have to look at the truth table, and looking at the truth table, you have to find that where are the similarities, where are the similarities, and looking at the truth table, you can design an efficient hardware just by looking at the truth table. Now, okay. 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 So चिकन नहीं है काफी, लेकिन I will try to how to make a space for it. So now let's assume we want to perform an ALU function. We want to perform an ALU function, and then we have some output ALU out. Okay. Now if you look at this, there are two combinations, S1 and S0. Can you look at S1 and S0? When S1 and S0 is 0, 0, what is the value of B? It's very important. Can you look at S1 S0? No. S1 is 0. If you look at S1 as 0, so can I write it like this? When I'm taking a decision based on S1 and S0, how many combinations are there? 4, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1. When S0, when S1 S0 is 0, 0, there is no B. There is no B. When there is no B, so can I write it like this? Let be 0. Now for the second case, 0, 1, which signal will go on the output? B. B. And when it's 1, 0, B bar. And it's 1, 1. No, 1, 1. There is no. For 1, 1, it is Y is equal to A. Y is equal to A. And for the second one, Y is equal to A plus 1. Yes, it will be 0. Now, if we change the truth table, let's assume we change the truth table. I change the truth table. In this case, Y is equal to B. And for this, Y is equal to B plus 1. Or like make it simple. It will be easy. Where Y is equal to A and Y is equal to A plus 1. Make it very simple. It doesn't matter. It's just okay. If you want to make it different, so let's assume make it different. B and B plus 1. B plus 1. Okay. Now, if you look at the above function, so in all of the cases, make it simple. So I want to have some reduced order. That's the reason that I'm making it A plus 1. So A is common in all cases. A is common in all cases. You need an adder. So now A, in all of these expression, A is there. And now if you look at plus 1, we will add plus 1 when C is equal to 1. We will add plus 1 when C is equal to 1. So can I write it like this? So in is equal to 1. And now this is your not out. ALU out. Arithmetic at A out. I can call it A out. Now you look if you look at here, if you look at the second logical unit, this is arithmetic out. Arithmetic out. Now I want to have a logical out. Now in this logical out, which symbol can you use? S1 and S0. You can look at S1 and S0. For S1 and S0, what you need? Multiplexer. You need a multiplexer. So here you need a multiplexer. I can draw a multiplexer here. Multiplexer. It will depend on the signal. Which signal? S1 0. S1 comma S0. Now there are 4 combinations: 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. Now when S1 is 0 0 0 0, what will go on the output? A and B. So there will be some. And which type of AND is this? Bitwise AND. How many ANDs will be there? 8 bit, because A and B is an 8-bit signal. 8 AND gates. What about 0 1? How many ORs will be there? 8 ORs. And similarly for 1 1, what is the thing? A bar. So now what is this output now? What should be the output? We can call it logical out. Now actually, now if you look at here, whether A out will go on the output or logical output will go on the output, we have to look at the other select lines, and we have to see intelligently, looking at the truth table, that when it will go on the output. So you have to see in there. So now we have in this case we have partitioned or designed into different components. One is the arithmetic component, and now another is the logical component. Now we need to design another component. What should be the name of that component? Now let's see that how it looks like. Just look at the truth table. Now if you look at the last one. So now we have also a shift component. Okay, now if we want to have this shift component, and now we want to design this, so on which select line can you use? S4 and S3, not S5. The most significant is S4. It's a 5-bit signal starting from S4 and ending at S0. So yeah, you need another multiplexer. So now let's assume this is a multiplexer. On the select line is S4 and S3. Out is 0 0, 0 1, 1 0 or 1 1. Now, and this is, let's assume, shift out. One is A out, ALU out, L out, logical out, and now this is shift out. So when it's 0 0, which signal will go on the output? A. When it's 0 1, A smaller than 1, less than. It means you are shifting A by left, shifting A by 1. So you need a shifter, and now you are shifting A and left shift by 1. And actually, if you are left shifting A by 1, so actually what's there? It's very simple, because it's A by 1, so it is actually, let's assume if it is A7, A6, A5, A4, A3, A2, A1 and 0. So what we are shifting on the left? 0. So what will be this output? Can you see what will be the output here? Because we are shifting A by 1, so the output will be like this. A6, because A7 will be removed. Then A5 and so on. It will go until A0 and followed by 0. And now what about this output? This will be right shift. When you are right shifting, so the most significant bit will be 0. Because we are right shifting. 0, then A7, very good. Then until A1. We even don't need any hardware. We are just changing the bits. Okay. And what about the A11? When it's 1-1. Y is 0, 8. B. Now if you look at the code. We have looked at the code. So now we have used 3 outputs. ALU out. Can you see? A out that I mentioned. In the second case, logical out. And the third case, we have directly used it. I will explain this like why cell 4-3. Okay. Now we have ALU out. We explained it previously. Okay. Now in ALU out. So now in ALU out we have a 3-bit signal here. Now even this code is inefficient. Even this code is inefficient. You don't need you should not write it like this. Cell. We can then exclude C in here. Can you see from this code? What should be? You got my point or not? Yes. So the point was this: like if you look at the multiplexer, we use 4-into-1 multiplexer or 8-to-1 multiplexer. 4-into-1 multiplexer. So we were taking the decision based on 2 bits or 3 bits. 2 bits. So you need a 2-bit multiplexer here. So now here you have 3 type of outputs. The first output is ALU out. The second output is for logical out, and the third output is shift out. And then you can look at the different symbol, the MSB symbol. If we look at the MSB signal S4 and S3, when S4 and S3 was 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So now based on the MSB signal, we were deciding that whether ALU out will go out or shift out will go out or arithmetic logic. So now this is a code. The Verilog code for this. Please go through this code. Okay. And if you have any question, you can come to me. Okay. If you have any question, you can come to me. Is there any question? No, sir. Sir, ये जो code आप बता रहे हैं ये तीनों को ऐड करके MSB चेक करने वाला code है.